Hey guys, Condor here. We're back with some more War Thunder gameplay today. Now, today the battle I have for you is one that I played with my Spitfire F Mark 9 in some realistic against the Germans on Ruhr. Now, I'm not really like the best Spitfire pilot. Like, I don't really fly the British that much, but I had a lot of fun flying them. Or I had a lot of fun flying this plane. It's a hell of a plane. It's fast. It's faster than I thought. I didn't know this Spitfire was that fast. It can maneuver really well. It can climb well. It's got a fairly good armament and enough ammo to do quite a bit of damage to the enemy team. So just right in the beginning, I tried to get that ME410 to turn with me, but, you know, he wasn't stupid. He just kept flying away from me, and I couldn't catch him because I tried to dodge the head-on. And right here, you'll see the dot on my screen. This G6 just dove out of nowhere and managed to dodge all of his shots, kept rolling and turning, and then when he overshot, I dropped down onto him, continued to dive after him using the speed I got from diving away from him, and snapshot his wing with 6 bullets. Oh my god, you should have seen my reaction. I was, like, crying. I was laughing so hard. It was fantastic. It was a great feeling. Sometimes Gaijin blesses you. Sometimes Gaijin does not. Does very, very dirty things to you. But yeah, that was probably one of the better kills I've ever gotten in this game. So after taking out the BF-109, there's a couple enemies to my right, engaging a couple teammates. Now the Spitfire right here manages to take out the guy in front of him, but eventually goes down to the Focke-Wulf, trailing him. And after the Focke-Wulf sees me coming, there's a couple friendlies with me as well, one above and one below me, as you can see on the radar. So he just kind of flies off. So I see this ME410 just all by himself, really vulnerable target. I make my approach as soon as he passes underneath me. I drop right down on top of him, cut throttle. I do not know the ripping speed of the Spitfires because I don't play them that often. So I just cut throttle on this dive. Popped about 20 bullets into his wing and took it off. And then I pulled back up out of the dive, turned, some of that speed into energy, and just swooped back up. So, for these next couple minutes, like, not much happens. A couple of my teammates end up chasing down Focke-Wulf. So, I'm going to take that time to kind of describe, like, how I play the Spitfire and pretty much any turn fighter that I end up playing with. So, even though the Spitfire climbs very, very well, it's one of the best climbers in the game, along with the LF Mark 9, I don't really ever climb with turn fighters, especially against the Germans, because, in my personal opinion, trying to climb with them is honestly suicide, because even if you do get to a good altitude where you're actually above them, odds are you're going to be isolated with maybe 1 or 2 other teammates, and your whole team's going to be down low, and by the time, you have a tactical advantage on the enemy, your whole team's dead. So, when I fly the Spitfire, I actually, in this battle, too, I do not go above 2,500 meters. Like, the altitude that I was at when I started combat was the highest altitude I was this entire battle. So, what I do in order to get my kills is I either dive on, the lawnmowers, or I use defensive flying in order to bait the enemies into diving on me and then killing them if they overshoot, pull up in the wrong direction, make them make the mistake and take advantage of it. That's the sort of playstyle I use. Now, I'm not really sure what this dude was doing because he was landing with like 4 enemies chasing him, so I just kind of sat here and spectated as this guy got absolutely bum rushed by a bunch of hungry fighters. And you see the first guy going, he's like, "Oh, I landed, boys," and then gone. So right here is a pretty good example of what I mean when I say baiting the enemy into diving on me. So you have this Focke-Wulf above me, right? I don't really make an attempt to avoid his attack until he begins to dive. I just act as if I am idle. When he's directly above me, I turn, so I make it a little more difficult for him to dive on me, but, he's in a Focke-Wulf, he can roll extremely fast. So when he dives, I roll up, and then I pull underneath his shots so he can't follow because the Focke-Wulf does not have a very good elevator. You have to do a lot more elevator movement than if you were fighting a BF-109, where it cannot roll as well when it reaches high speeds. And so then I pull up using the speed I got from dodging his first attack, put some shots into him, and then the Corsair behind me actually like snipes this dude from like 0.9 kilometers. That was a pretty sick shot, even though like I was kind of sad I didn't kill him. But anyways, he was down. So right now, as you can see, there is only 3 guys left on the enemy team, and our team is actually in a very, very good tactical position. Now, a Focke-Wulf just took out an F-82 over by this F4U Holstein over here. So I just begin my fly over, just flying over, just not really doing much. I mean, just kind of flying along. And when I was flying over, I didn't really know who was chasing who, because I saw the Focke-Wulf just killed the F-82. And I see a bunch of white tracers, which at first I was like, oh god, the German guy is chasing our F4U. But when I got a bit closer, I realized it was actually the F4U, because I kind of spaced, because I didn't realize the F4U also has the white tracers. So I get a bit closer, and I realize that the F4U is actually tailing the Focke-Wulf. And Triple H is fucking sniping me right now. The thing is so accurate. One thing I don't understand is why, like, the flak in the middle of the map, like, does so much less damage than the flak at the airfield. Like, at least make it consistent. I mean, one can't be, like, hit a jet at 900 kilometers an hour, and the other one can be, like, sparks 90 times and doesn't even, like, make my plane yellow. So, I pull up and I drop back down onto the Focke-Wulf's tail. This Focke-Wulf was actually very good at dodging bullets. The G6 dove in on the F4U, but he actually missed, so when he zoomed up, I took the advantage. I took the opportunity to take out the Focke-Wulf since he was isolated. He ends up using a lot of rolling and rudder movement, and I end up only getting a hit right there, so I pull back up, make sure I don't overshoot, because that is the last thing you want to do to a Focke-Wulf, is accidentally fly in front of those 420 mils, because you will be deader before you can say Spitfire. So I begin diving on him again. I see the F4U is just kind of shooting him, so I just kind of give this guy, his kill, since he was chasing him earlier. And right now, the G6 is actually diving on us, and the closer he gets, the more anxious I get for this guy to kill this Focke-Wulf. And eventually the G6 is within, like, 1.8 kilometers, so I'm just like, you know what, screw it, I gotta kill this guy, because this F4U is so tunnel visioned. I mean, look at him. He's just not paying any attention, so as soon as I kill him, I turn around. And fortunately, this BF-109 whiffs again, and the Corsair survives for another pass. And once again, the BF-109 just speeds off after his pass, using all his energy to go back up to altitude. Now, it's just me and this F4U chasing this guy down. I'm not really in a hurry to get to altitude, because I do not have the same energy as that BF-109, but what I do is, since the F4U cannot climb very well, I go a bit above him, so if the BF-109 turns around to head on, he's going to have to go for either the F4U or me. He can't go for us both if we're at different altitudes. So, if he goes for me, then the F4U could pull up and put shots into him, and if he goes for the F4U, I can dive on him and put shots into him. So no matter what, he's in a very bad situation. So I'm not really sure why he turned. He did not have, I think, the energy that he thought he did, and he wasn't even able to get shots on the Corsair. And then I just put some shots into him, light him on fire, and then just begin to spray him down with 7.7s to make sure that he goes down for good. Now, the last enemy in the game is currently above me, so I'm just trying to make sure that this guy dies and making sure that the BF-109 above me does not dive on me, because he is in a very ideal position to finish me off. So, put a couple more shots into him. Eventually his tail flies off, and I actually almost ram him. I would have been so pissed if I had actually rammed him, like throwing headset across the room pissed. But fortunately I did not, so my headset is very thankful for you dying, Mr. BF-109. So the G2 actually dove down, missed his strafe on the Corsair. I don't know what that Corsair was doing. Maybe he's a wizard, but he dodged like 6 passes at like stall speed, Like, he was going so goddamn slow, and he survived so many passes. I'm pretty sure he's Harry Potter. So the BF-109 once again dives on me, and once again just using my maneuverability to my advantage, just dodging him, forcing him to overshoot, and pulling in behind him, using the energy I got from diving under him to go back and chase him. Shoot a couple shots at him, don't get any hits, but I don't know, just trying to intimidate him, I guess. I'm not sure what my plan is, trying to get a .7 kilometer snipe with 3 bullets. But I only have 67 rounds left, so I'm just being very conservative about my ammo. The BF-109 turns to engage me. I pull underneath so he can't get a shot on me, but he turned to go after the F4U. But then he didn't go after the F4U anyways, and he ends up just turning in front of me. And I'm able to use what energy I have to go up into the vertical, put some shots into him, and actually crit his right aileron. And then I sparked like 10 bullets on his fuselage, which is absolute bullshit considering they're Hispanos and their muzzle velocity is so fast. Like, they do not spark at that distance. I'm sorry, that's just unrealistic. Like, come on now, guys. So then he dove. He's critted right now, so he can't really maneuver that well. He actually critted the F4U, but as once again, the F4U was a wizard, so he did survive. And then I was able to finish him off with my 7.7s. Now, I was actually stunned that I did this well in this battle. So, like, right now I'm checking to see, like, how many battles I had in this plane, because I was like, maybe I just played this in a past life and I don't remember, because I was just absolutely stunned that I had done this well, and I think it was my 3rd battle ever. I don't know, I can't find it. I can't see it anywhere. Again, can't see it again anywhere. But anyways, so our team ended up winning. The majority of our fighters actually survived, which is extremely unusual for allied teams, and I was very happy with our team's play. We actually really stuck together and engaged enemies in groups, which is very essential if you want to do well, especially against the Germans. So I ended up with 5 kills. I actually ended up in 2nd place, believe it or not, because there was this one guy on my team that got, like, a shit ton of ground, like, he got, like, what, 19 ground units, so he ended up beating me by 3 points, which, you know, it doesn't matter, but, you know, he's the objective dude, so, yeah, I killed the fight. I don't know where I'm going with this. He did a good job killing the objective, but, anyways, so, let's see if I can find it this time. I think I find it in this part when I look again. Yeah, so that was my 3rd battle. Yeah, so I was very surprised that I had done that well on my 3rd battle. It just goes to show that this is an excellent plane. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the Condor, and I will see you later.